achieve this peace goal. What I try and do is quickly run through some of these outcomes that you will find in the joint statement as soon as it's issued, which will give you a sense of
we like to take perhaps an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Maximum, we just find the sort of elements of it, but it's all in place. The elements are all agreed. So if I can just quickly run through these as in various buckets, if I might. There's an infrastructure, economics and trade bucket, which I'm just selecting some of the highlights that certainly will appeal to an Indian audience. US firms will be lead partners in developing 3 smart cities, or upgrading them as 3 smart cities: Allahabad, Ajmer and Visakhapatnam. Partnership platform is being established with USAID, business and civil society, such as the Gates Foundation, for Indian municipal, state and union entities to leverage private capacity for upgradation of water, sanitation and sewage in 500 cities to facilitate access to clean water and sanitation. An India-US investment initiative is being put together with the intention of serving as a clearing platform for all infrastructure investments from the United States and India. All right, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Do you want me to start again from the top, or? All right, okay, sorry. We'll email out some of this.
We'll email much of it, because otherwise we won't have time for other things. So let him go through it. We will email to you the outcomes.
Okay, because it's about 3 pages of bullet points. That means there's a lot. So, all right. So quickly, smart cities, smart city partnership for Allahabad, Ajmer, and Visakhapatnam. U.S. firms will be lead partners on that. A platform for USAID, business and civil society to work with our cities and state governments in bringing water, sanitation and sewage improvements. It's called the WASH Alliance. WASH, Water and Sanitation and Health, Sewage and Health Alliance, WASH Alliance, WASH. It's an appropriate acronym for all 500 cities that are being teed up for this purpose. An investment initiative which will essentially be run by the Department of the Ministry of Finance and the Treasury on this side to facilitate FDI, portfolio investment, capital market development and financing of infrastructure. A separate infrastructure platform which will serve as a clearinghouse to facilitate American and Indian companies in expediting infrastructure projects in India. A manufacturing extension partnership which will enable the US National Institute for Standards and Technology to help small and medium enterprises in India build business plans, raise themselves to global standards, and to improve manufacturing capacity. It ties in with PM's Make in India initiative, basically. A partnership between the Reserve Bank, the US Fed, and the Office of the Comptroller of Currency in sharing information and regulation of financial institutions. This is basically, 1, to upgrade capacity and regulation of financial institutions, and also 2, to work together in cross-border banking arrangements. So, American banks in India, Indian banks in the US, so to improve that piece. Let me take a strategic bucket next. The President has affirmed that India meets the requirements for the Missile Technology Control Regime and is ready for membership in the Nuclear Suppliers Group. The President affirmed that India meets the requirements for the Missile Technology Control Regime, which is MTCR, and is ready for membership in the Nuclear Suppliers Group. We are creating an interagency contact group to address all implementation issues to speed up the deployment of US origin nuclear reactors in India. So to speed up our CivNuc partnership, we've created an interagency working group which will deal through all issues, including on liability, on administrative issues, and on technological and techno-commercial issues. We are renewing our framework agreement for India-US defense cooperation for a further 10 years. The final text will be signed shortly, as soon as it can be negotiated out to the last full stop.
No, not today. This is a separate.
Agreements are normally signed in front of the 2 leaders, so this will be done separately, but we've agreed that we're going to go ahead on this. Our Defense Trade and Technology Initiative, we have decided to try and identify unique and transformative technologies and products, which will then be teed up when, in the next few months. A special task force is being set up between the 2 defense departments for this. The US has agreed to cooperate as the knowledge partner for India's planned National Defense University. So that will bring higher management of the defense forces on both sides into greater partnership. The US has agreed to be a technology partner for the Indian Navy for future naval construction programs. The US has reaffirmed its support for our permanent seat in the Security Council and to enhance India's voice and vote in international financial institutions. We have also agreed jointly to expand our trilateral partnerships in Afghanistan. Voice and vote. That is the IMF and the bank. This is part of our standing demand on that. Expansion of trilateral partnerships in Afghanistan and among African partners, which is where India and the US work together in areas such as food security, agricultural training, women's empowerment. We are now going to expand the number of activities. The statement will be signed very shortly in the next day or two, and that we'll make available publicly. And countries in Africa. Earlier we had Liberia, Kenya, and Malawi. We'll now look to expand to other partners too. We will now take it up to clean energy, to health, and disaster preparedness as well, quite apart from women's empowerment and food security.